what actually took place, whether he's strong-armed, the driver of this vehicle or not. We just don't know, but definitely some extra charges are going to be added onto this, not to mention just the reckless driving and endangering other people that this driver is doing right now.
So, Roland, what do police do at this point? It's obviously creating a hazard and a danger to the public. They have pulled off their ground cruisers. Are they still eyeing them from the air?
I'm going to ask my pilot. Aldo, do you see another? Do you see an air unit? Okay, we do have an air unit above it that's tracking from the air. I'm also told that there's another white vehicle that may be behind pursuing. I don't see that vehicle quite yet.
Wow.
But suffice to say, they may be trying to just ratchet this down a little bit with the speeds that this individual is driving and try and go into surveillance mode. Now, I have not heard that officially over the scanner, but right now there's nobody behind this driver, and so they're driving recklessly, and they're driving recklessly like this for no reason at all.
You know, Roland, and this is a second pursuit in the San Fernando Valley today. One ended close to 11 a.m. this morning, and now we have this other one, and we believe it could be potentially tied to another pursuit in which 2 LAPD officers were involved in and injured.
I'm sorry, Annabelle, can you repeat that?
Is this the same individual that was involved in another pursuit that in which left 2 LAPD officers injured?
That's quite possible. Listen, Annabelle, there have been so many pursuits today. It's mind-boggling, to tell you the truth. This may be an individual that was involved in a stolen car in Burbank, and Burbank Police Department lost track of it. They picked it up one additional time before they canceled that pursuit due to the danger level of that pursuit. And now yet again, here we are in pursuit of this same individual. And you can see he or she is indeed dangerous, driving right now on Mason Avenue. That's where we're at right now, Mason Avenue, southbound, as this pursuit continues through San Fernando Valley.
Roland, while we got you here, this driver really seems to be debunking what we typically see. When there aren't any cruisers behind you, when you don't see anyone pursuing you, you typically slow down a bit. You kind of gather yourself, and again, police are then able to devise a plan to re-engage. But it's only gotten worse. I mean, the speeds are higher, the driving becomes more erratic. But now I do see, as you mentioned, that white vehicle here behind the BMW.
Yeah, as I pull out, it's not clear whether or not that's a, okay, that is a Ford Expedition, so that might be CHP that is behind this vehicle that has gotten involved now with this pursuit. And so I have not heard officially that they even requested CHP, but of course they've got jurisdiction throughout the entire state of California, so they can pretty much chase whoever they want, even though their jurisdiction is primarily the freeways. If there's a life safety issue like this, where this person is endangering people's lives, they can definitely go in pursuit.
And so, Roland, we know that this individual is driving around the West Valley again, around the area of Northridge. We see there he's on Van Nowen Street and close to Mason, it looks like, driving at a high rate of speed. Luckily, many students are on summer break, but we do know that a lot of people are just pretty much ending their lunch break right now. Some of them are running errands, and that's why we are seeing a lot of vehicles around this time, especially in the valley. We see these streets are full of cars, and obviously he's not respecting that. He is swerving in and out of lanes and even driving on the opposite side of the road.
Absolutely. My point earlier was that, and you added to that, was that even though school is out, you do have students that are in summer school as well, but you do have people that are concluding their lunch break, some people getting off early from work, and so at this point in time in the day, you're going to have an increased volume of traffic. Look at that. Just sped right through that intersection, almost cut that car off. That could have been a very deadly accident, quite potentially, and that's the closest call that we have seen thus far with this driver, as this driver continues to up the level, if you will, up the stakes on this pursuit, now making a left-hand turn On
And then we
let's
saw
see.
pedestrians.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that. On Topanga Canyon now, going westbound on Topanga and approaching some traffic here, intersection. Cars trying to kind of thread the needle here through the intersection and whatnot. And yeah, complete impunity when it comes to people crossing the street, other cars and so forth. And we were talking about it earlier that this person has no reason, well, possibly now that there's a white CHP vehicle behind. I don't even see that vehicle anymore, but really no reason to be driving this quickly right now, with the exception of coming up to intersections and whatnot, slowing down.
You know, our focus obviously is the person behind the wheel of this vehicle, but we can't help but think about and mention all of these innocent drivers out here who have no idea because they're not being alerted by lights and sirens from any law enforcement agency. They are just going about their day at stop signs, at intersections, at red lights, and children crossing the street, parents crossing the street, yet again, they are in danger and don't even know it.
No doubt. And you just saw that stop sign that he just blew. And absolutely, Michael, most people, the motorists on the road, have no idea what's going on right now. And sadly, we have seen a number of cases here in Los Angeles where people still have been severely injured and even killed as a result of a pursuit suspect who was driving with no one really pursuing him, and yet that individual chose to still blow through intersections and so forth at a high rate of speed, unfortunately injuring and killing people.
Roland, so now is he in the area of Woodland Hills, Canoga Park area?
Yeah, we're on Shoup right now. We are southbound on Shoup.
Again, and you look at the speeds there, 94, 99 miles an hour. I mean, this thing is just out of control, again, with no visible law enforcement behind.
Right.
So it just makes you wonder, you know, what is this person thinking? I mean, are they even considering the people that they're putting in potential danger at this point? Not giving a heck about whether they go through a red light, a stop sign, again, making turns, sometimes driving Annabelle, as you said, on the wrong side of the road.
Right, exactly, and we have seen them
look
blow
at this.
through.
Is this is not the safe Chevron station, is it?
No.
No, it's not.
Okay, the irony here.
And my fear here, Michael, is this suspect may be trying to switch vehicles yet again with someone else and switch up the vehicle that he's driving.
Maybe
there he is on foot right there. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Oh, Lord.
Okay,
it looks like he's going to get inside this. This looks like a van or an SUV.
I don't know if he actually got inside. I thought I saw somebody walking back. Maybe that's the owner of the car. I'm not quite sure.
I believe it was the suspect walking from that white vehicle, and I'm not quite sure what's good. Can we get around Aldo at all? Can we get around the front at all? I'm going to keep my camera locked onto this as closely as we can because I can't tell you what's transpiring up underneath this covered area.
Are the brake lights illuminated on the original white car here?
Yes, that's what they look like.
Let's see. They are. They are on there, but the door. Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Okay. So it looks like that the suspect or subject may have gotten back into this vehicle, and.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we have, is this CHP?
I believe it is. It's the same SUV.
Yeah, and so here we are. We're off and running. We're off to the races again on the sidewalk. And now back on to making a U-turn.
Okay,
and let's see if we can figure out where this is here. It looks like Clarendon Street.
The assumption right now, Annabelle, is the fact that he tried to get into that other car at that Chevron station. That was a failed attempt, then got back into the white car, and now is being pursued once again by the CHP.
Okay, and we could assume then that he is potentially running out of gas, and that's why he tried to get into another car.
Or at least to throw police off.
Correct.
Right.
So we see him again driving at those high rate, that high rate of speed, clearly blowing through these red lights and stop signs, putting so many people in danger. We see that these streets are full right now at this hour. And of course, we saw some pedestrians that were walking nearby. Yeah. So many close calls right now, Roland, is what we're seeing.
Annabelle, so many close calls. And, after today, earlier pursuit, I just wonder if we really need to be taking yet another look at the various pursuit techniques that are enlisted. You know, I'm not being critical, of course, of our law enforcement. We've got great law enforcement here in Southern California, but it just really seems like a lot of these perpetrators, these criminals, if you will, going into another gas station. Okay, through gas station. Okay, back out of the parking lot. Oh!
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
He had to have run into there. There's damage on the passenger side there and to the front bumper. So definitely ran into the front of that police cruiser, but still off and running on Ventura Boulevard. We're going northbound now on Ventura Boulevard.
It looked as if he was going to attempt to perhaps get another vehicle at that Shell station, but again, with not any luck there. Hitting that police cruiser. Now we see LAPD as well, correct? Or is that sheriff's?
I believe that was a CHP cruiser that has gotten involved. And what I'm thinking is each time this driver goes into a gas station parking lot, he or she may be looking for the potential to swap cars or to carjack yet another individual. That's the only thing I can think of.
Roland, and do we know if this individual is armed?
We do not. And, of course, at this point, it doesn't matter because, okay, here we go, another Arcos station.
Okay, so this is what,
okay,
the
here
third?
we go right here. Running over to this white van, getting into the white van.
Is that the owner of the van?
And look at the owner, I believe, is walking around completely oblivious.
Oh, my gosh.
Here we go again.
If that is the owner, he's oblivious to what just happened there.
Completely oblivious to what just happened. Door open. Folks, if there's a lesson here, definitely, these are the kinds of things that can happen at a gas station when you leave your door unlocked.
Right, and your keys inside the vehicle. So that is a lesson for all of us. If we're going to pump gas, pull out those car keys and have them with you. But also, it just kind of goes to show how fast things are moving around here. I mean, if this driver was stepping away just because maybe he heard these sirens, didn't really understand what was going on, looks over, and his car is now taken away.
Yep, absolutely, and this is bringing back memories of that pursuit that we had earlier this year with the individual in Rosemead, I believe it was, that had stolen the pickup truck and was carjacking, stealing car after car after car, running through backyards and so forth. It's starting to take on some resemblance to that. This is now the third vehicle. Okay, making a U-turn. This is...
At the very least, Roland, officers now know that this person is in this white van. Okay, so I was a little worried about that. Okay, so right, they have eyes on this van now. We saw the cruiser behind. Again, we're seeing a huge, a large amount of speed here. This van is going quickly, especially for city streets.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Is he getting on the freeway? Yeah, he's getting on the 101 freeway.
Getting on the 101 freeway.
Again, this is the area of Woodland Hills, Canoga Park area. You know, luckily, he didn't get too close to the mall, the Westfield Topanga Mall. But again, we're seeing a lot of people out and about at this hour, putting so many people in danger.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull out of the shot here just slightly because it appears that this driver may be running into a little bit of traffic up ahead. We'll have to see what happens here as he tries to weave through traffic on the 101 freeway. But still driving at, well, not quite as dangerous speeds as what we saw on surface streets. But now this is clearly in the domain of the California Highway Patrol.
As we get off the exit
As he exits off the freeway here yet again, this will go back into LAPD's jurisdiction, so to speak, and we'll see what he does here as he approaches the exit here.
Looks like it's the Soto Avenue here off the 101 freeway. It was stacked up there with cars. I believe he just got on the sidewalk. Right, making that left turn now underneath the freeway.
Underneath the freeway now. Getting back on the freeway from all indications. It looks like going the opposite direction on the 101 freeway.
Roland, do we know how many agencies are behind him? We know that CHP and LAPD are also, is it Mission or?
Annabelle, I'm sorry, my IFB dropped out there for a second. Can you repeat that question?
Do you know how many agencies are following this pursuit? We know it's CHP, but also is it Mission? the Mission Police Department that is still on this? Do we know?
It got picked up by Devonshire, LAPD Devonshire Division, and CHP at some point, the baton was passed to them. It's not clear whether or not the Devonshire Division is still on this or not, but I suspect as this individual gets on and off the freeway, LAPD will pick up the pursuit where they can. But right now, what we saw was, let's see, as I pull out of the shot, I don't see CHP too close behind, although there's a patrol vehicle right there getting on the freeway, and I'll see here in just a second who that is, but he is starting to accelerate. We're now at about almost 90 miles per hour on the 101 freeway. Yeah,
certainly not the same number of cars that we saw on the southbound side, I believe.
Right.
We're heading northbound on the 101, correct?
Yes, we're headed northbound on the 101 freeway.
And it tells the story that you see the gas cap on this van just blowing in the wind. As we know, this car was taken from a ARCO station, I believe, as the driver was out pumping gas. This guy jumps in and takes off. So this is where we are now. Again, Roland, we're seeing 80 plus miles an hour right now.
Yep, going on the right-hand shoulder and just, weaving, threading the needle, so to speak, going through vehicles and that sort of thing. Again, I don't see anyone directly behind him. So, again, this driver accelerating at a high rate of speed, a dangerous rate of speed for absolutely no reason at all, desperate to get away from authorities as this pursuit continues here.
Yeah, driving on the shoulder, driving at a high rate of speed. Lots of vehicles we still have to mention. All of these vehicles are driving northbound on the 101. We're out of the area of Woodland Hills, heading towards Agora Hills. Is that right?
Looks like we're headed into the Calabasas area is what it looks like.
Okay.
All right, so just to recap, that this white van was actually taken, as we mentioned, from an ARCO station. This was the third gas station that this driver attempted to swap out his vehicle. This is now, what, the third vehicle or second vehicle?
Well, it would be the third vehicle.
This is the third vehicle that this individual has stolen. The initial vehicle was that white Dodge Caravan, and so we have seen just how easy it is to have your car stolen, and we've all watched that live right in front of us, as horrifying as it is. And, I was starting to talk a little bit earlier about, I wonder, if, and I'm certainly not a police officer, so I don't know much about this, but I just wonder if we need to take a look at how we handle pursuits because these individuals seem to get away with relative ease, really. And, I watch a lot of pursuits, and I see pursuits in other states and that so forth, and there are a number of different things that are being done, but it's just very hard to watch when you see someone's vehicle stolen like this.
Roland, what would be the game plan right now? I mean, he's on the freeway, 101, driving at an excessive rate of speed. At this point, what are police officers thinking is their plan next?
Well, I think as it appears right now, it looks as though they have kind of gone back into a surveillance mode, if you will. There's an air unit. We have an air unit still overhead, right, Aldo? Okay. All right, so we got 4 patrol vehicles that are coming up behind it pretty quick here, but I don't want to lose him because he's going so fast right now, and he can get off the freeway at any given moment. I don't want to lose him, but so we still do have patrol vehicles or ground vehicles that are part of the pursuit package behind this individual, and I'm still checking to see if we have an air unit that is still working this, but they've backed off significantly, I'm sure in hopes that this individual slows his speed down so that it would give them an opportunity to reset and determine what other tactics or strategy that they might use to try and catch up to this individual. Right now, he's going so fast, there's no opportunity for a pit maneuver. There's no opportunity for a spike strip or anything like that. So they're just going to have to wait for that opportunity to do that, and hopefully this individual slows down.
All right, I just saw 2 more units here on the shoulder of the 101 as this van continues northbound. But you think about what is the game plan. I mean, they're at the mercy of this driver right here. We don't know what he's going to do next. I mean, lo and behold, I never thought he would run into 3 gas stations and attempt to steal 3 different cars. But this has already happened. So, again, the speeds are excessive. I mean, people, the public, are being put into major danger with this right now. And this guy, Roland, appears to have a lot of real estate ahead of him here on the 101.
He's got a whole lot of real estate right now. It looks like traffic is flowing at normal freeway speeds right now. And he's just kind of, as I said, weaving the needle, going in and out of traffic, that sort of thing, still pushing up against 90 miles per hour. Again, there just doesn't seem to be any conceivable plan or anything that he has other than to speed his way out of the pursuit of CHP or LAPD.
Now, he is going to, if he continues on this 101, he's going to be entering Ventura County. Will Ventura County Police take over at that point? Yes.
What is happening right now, and I'm trying to listen to a little bit of the scanner chatter as I'm talking to you, is CHP will radio ahead additional divisions upstream or downstream, if you will, and let them know that a pursuit is coming into their area. And just like Michael saw the 2 CHP vehicles or the 2 patrol vehicles that were parked on the right-hand side of the freeway there just a minute ago, they'll be standing by at an on-ramp waiting to get eyes on this thing so that they can take over the pursuit. They will also make notifications to any other law enforcement agencies in that area, Ventura PD, Ventura County Sheriff PD, and Oxnard, if you will, all those upstream or downstream agencies that may have a stake in this pursuit.
Hey, Roland, earlier you talked about how, you know, the CHP, law enforcement in general, they just need that moment in order to reset so they can execute their game plan. This driver has not given them the opportunity to reset.
Right.
You hit the nail right on the head, Michael. This has got to be a very difficult situation for law enforcement to deal with someone going this fast. I'm sure they're, you know, wringing their hands right now, as I am, hoping that this individual doesn't hit anybody, doesn't get into any accidents or anything like that. Bicyclist, perhaps a child. Anyone that might be in harm's way here.
All right,
so
let's
just
talk about,
exiting
let's
the
talk about
101
location.
freeway, and I'm going to try and see what this street is. It looks like it's Reyes Adobe. That's in the Agoura Hills, Calabasas area.
Okay, we see law enforcement behind the driver, CHP, once again, a little closer than before.
Yeah, so now he's on these like surface streets, these side streets, and of course, we do see a lot of vehicles. Is he entering back on the freeway?
Looks like he's getting back on the freeway.
Okay.
Getting back on the freeway, guys. Getting back on the freeway again. And again, it looks like he's got a whole lot of real estate to work with here. CHP not able really to catch a break here. And as you were describing, Michael, to really develop a tactic or strategy for this person, as I was saying before, they can't even get a spike strip into place. They cannot even do a pit maneuver. A pit maneuver at this speed could be catastrophic to other drivers, if you will, and possibly even the officer attempting the pit maneuver. So at these speeds, you're not going to see a pit maneuver necessarily. I have no idea what's in their brain or in their mind right now as to what they're going to do.
Roland, and we want to just start off again and talk, and you know, for anybody who's just joining us right now, we want to let you know that we've been following this pursuit. It started around, we picked it up around the area of Northridge. This is the third stolen vehicle. This particular van was taken from a gas station in his, third attempt to take a car from a gas station. So we saw him going into 3 different gas stations, and he found this particular van while somebody was trying to pump gas. That owner of the van was completely unaware that he was getting into his van. The suspect was getting into his van and took off. We are now in the area of Westlake Village area, but we are following this pursuit, driving erratically, Michael.
Yeah, you know, and you talk about those folks back at the gas station as we continue to watch this white van. Again, now the suspect's 3rd vehicle. He attempted to take what appeared to be a gray vehicle at the 2nd gas station, I believe, but was out of luck. So then we saw him walk back to that white BMW that he was in before this van, taking off yet again, then ultimately getting this van. But we see CHP right there closely behind. I think this is the closest we've seen law enforcement here in quite a while. But again, we're heading northbound on the 101 freeway. Roland, can we bring you back in here? I want to try to figure out here what the next exit is, what's ahead, and do we see any additional CHP officers? I don't know if Roland, can you hear me?
I can hear you. My IFB, Michael, keeps dropping in and out, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to see.
We'll blame technology for that. That's fine. But I want to just see, do we see any additional CHP officers ahead of where the suspect is now?
Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can push ahead here and see if anyone else is standing by. I don't see anybody standing by, but I do see some traffic starting to develop up ahead here.
Okay, and there's that van. There it goes again. We did see another police unit getting onto the freeway. I'm wondering now if Ventura County has started this pursuit, has started following this pursuit. Roland?
I have not heard that as of yet, that they have passed the baton onto Ventura, and I'll try and listen for that. However, I've seen in these pursuits that some of these divisions will stay with this as long as they possibly can until the downstream or upstream division can get really situated and into place. So I'm going to pull out of the shot here. This driver's going to hit some traffic here coming up, so let's. It's going to be interesting to see what he does here. Right-hand shoulder right now. Not slowing down whatsoever, just blazing right on through.
Off the freeway once again.
Let's see, it looks like we're getting off the freeway, and this is going to be
Moore Park.
Moore Park.
Interestingly enough, it makes me wonder how much gas was actually pumped into that van prior to it being stolen. I mean, gas might be an issue for this large vehicle here. I mean, I'm sure, assuming, Roland, gas mileage isn't all that great on a van that size.
Look at this. Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see. So ramming the van. They've got them pinned in on both sides here. Let's see what happens. Come around the tree, although I know. All right, so they've got them at gunpoint right now. Now, what they were not able to do is pin this individual from the backside. So they've got the front, got them pinned in from the front. They've got a CHP vehicle partially on the to the rear there, but he could very easily back up and continue on with this pursuit. But let's see what happens.
Doesn't
got him at gunpoint right now. I see some hands, I believe. I see hands.
I see a hand.
And they're giving him instructions right now, trying to get him to comply. And let's just see if he does that. Hopefully he does.
Okay, see him getting out of
we see the door open. We see the hand still visible there on the top.
Hand still visible. Doors open. Walking out now. Taking off his shirt.
Looks like he's done this before. He knows the routine.
You get the feeling, don't you? And then down on his belly on presumably a very hot on-ramp of the 101 freeway. It's got to be hot as blazes down there. So let's see what they do here is giving him instructions, put his hands behind his back, and then you will soon see a cadre of officers begin to advance toward him and put him in handcuffs. But you can see he's kind of got his face lifted up, and that pavement has just got to be on fire.
I don't think most who are watching feel any pity for the driver right now or the temperature of the pavement that he's lying on. But
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah, CHP taking this person into custody here on what was a very notable chase, that is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this pretty much started much earlier, around 8 a.m. or so, if this is the same individual who led officers on a high-speed pursuit. Those two LAPD officers were injured. The suspect took off, and then we picked it up in Northridge, and we saw him taking off with 3 stolen vehicles. At this last one at an ARCO station is where he found this vehicle, and now ending in the area of Thousand Oaks.
Yes, and I'll tell you, Annabelle and Michael, I think we really dodged a bullet here. I mean, nobody was really hit. We certainly saw the potential for that to happen. I'm glad that this ended this way, where no one was injured. Officers, civilians, pedestrians, and this individual now in handcuffs, going presumably to jail where he belongs.
Well, this is, I used the word notable before, but this is certainly one for the books. That is for sure. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. And it makes you wonder, wouldn't you like to be there on the scene to hear exactly what this guy is trying to explain, if anything?
Of course. You know, Michael, I'm pleased to say that this individual was stopped. He's now in handcuffs and in police custody. There were so many people that he could have potentially injured. He put so many people's lives at risk. All of those pedestrians, all of those drivers just going about their business on a day like today. And this guy was blowing through stoplights, red lights.